Sure that it's counting up, that way we know it's recording here. We're going to be heading out here shortly, just letting this other group get out of the way. Let's go ahead and go foot on the brake, pull up on the drive tab, hit the M for manual mode, go ahead and follow me out to the track. Alright gentlemen, let's get ready to head out onto the track here. Let's make sure we got our driver passenger windows rolled up, please. Go ahead, reach over, get that climate control set nice and comfortable. Let's get into the right frame of mind. Remember, 100% of concentration, 100% of the time out there. Let's make sure we keep those thumbs locked in about 9 and 3, just above the spokes on the steering wheel. Wiggle those fingers. Make sure you can access the paddle shifters. Remember, you want to keep a nice loose grip as we are out there on the track. White knuckle or death grip in the wheel. Just nice and loose, relaxed. Gentlemen, looks like we're just getting a car switched out here for one of the other drivers, and then we'll be heading out onto the track. Now with all of our track sessions, we'll head out there, we'll do a sight lap, just getting reacclimated with the driving line, and then once we come back around through turn number 9, we're going to go ahead and start to pick it up. Remember, really work on that driving line, gentlemen, especially on this first sight lap. You're going to place your tires where I place mine. Alright gentlemen, once we get onto the track here, we're going to bring our speed down, just give ourselves a little bit of space between us and the other group, then we'll go ahead and continue out onto the track. Alright gentlemen, looks good. Let's start building up some pace here. Let's work ourselves into third gear, gentlemen, third gear. There. So from the blue turning cone, we're getting down tight on the curb at the apex. Then unwind, accelerate out. Left lane, fourth gear here, gentlemen. Again, gentlemen, we'll stay on the throttle all the way up to the floorboard. At the floorboard, we need good firm brake pressure. And start to ease off. We'll go from the blue turning cone down tight to the apex. We're third gear here, gentlemen, third gear. On the curve, quickly off, right at the orange apex. Unwind out, accelerate. We're going to upshift to fourth gear, then lift. Again, let the car settle. Squeeze back on. We're tight to the right, unwinding out left of center here. We'll keep some angle on the wheel. That's going to get us back close to the near apex, and then eyes up straight towards the 1. Don't forget to brake firm at the number 4 board. Again, we'll downshift to third gear, gentlemen. from the blue turning cone. We got to get down towards the inside early here in turn number 3. So follow me down. We're on the curve quickly off. Then unwind, accelerate straight towards the brake cone here. Yep, open up that wheel, head straight towards the brake cone. We'll brake in a straight line, middle lane, then steer down. On the curb here. Good, unwind, accelerate out. End of the curving, just light and long brakes, gentlemen. Easing off as we get back towards the left, and at the blue turning cone, we're tight to the right on the curve at the apex. Unwind, accelerate out. So try to unwind or open up a little bit earlier there. Downshifting second gear here, Jerry, outside seam. Be patient. Look through the apex, find the blue turning cone. Once we're pointed, we'll throttle up. Light brakes back towards the left. Alright, let's pick it up, Jerry. Third gear, straight towards the blue turning cone. Long and light brakes here, easing off, turning in, all over the curb on the inside. Good, unwind, accelerate. Upshifting fourth gear, staying on it. All the way up to the floorboard. Firm brakes at the 4. Downshift here, third gear, from the blue turning cone, tight to the apex on the inside. Quickly on, quickly off. So just turn in a little bit late there. Try to turn in at that blue turning cone. Upshift, fourth gear, lift. Let's car settle, squeeze back on. Tight to the right, unwinding out left of center here. We'll get back close to the near apex, eyes up straight towards the 1. Don't forget to brake at the 4. Again, downshifting here, third gear. Follow me down. Gotta get to that far right lane or inside lane early. A little tighter there, Jerry, a little tighter. Good. Straight down towards the brake cone. Brake in a straight line, middle lane, then steer down. On the curb just before the apex here. Unwind, accelerate out. Light and long brakes here, sir. Easing off as we get back towards the left, and then at the blue turning cone, we're tight to the right on the curb at the apex. Good, open up. There you go. Light and long brakes. Downshift, second gear, outside seam. Be patient, let that car get rotated. On the curb, then throttle up. Light brakes back towards the left. Good, unwind, accelerate. Upshifting third gear, straight towards the blue turning cone. Long and light brakes, easing off, all over the curb on the inside, Jerry. Good. Unwind, accelerate here. Let's get some throttle down on the straightaway. Try to be careful using that outside or exit curbing there, Jerry. We want to try to turn in at the blue turning cone. Looks like you turned in a little bit early, which is going to push you wide on the exit. Downshifting third gear. Follow me down. Right at the blue turning cone. We got to get tight to the apex. So notice how late you are turning in there. You're a good 10-15 feet past that blue turning cone. So at the blue turning cone, we've got to start that initial turn in there, sir. We're fourth gear here, back towards the near apex, eyes up straight towards the 1. Firm brake at the 4. Again, downshifting third gear, follow me down. We've got to get a little tighter here, right at that blue turning cone. Get to the far right or inside lane. Good, that's better. Straight towards the brake cone. Long and light brakes, middle. Now steer down, we're on the curb at the apex. Looking good back there, Santiago. Keep it up, sir. To really work on driving that driving line so it becomes muscle memory. And when you're behind me, we'll pick it up here. Downshifting into second gear as we come into turn number 8 here. So light brakes at the exit. Downshifting, second gear, outside seam, patience. Good, get that rotation, get pointed. There you go, light brakes back towards the left. Then unwind and accelerate straight towards the blue turning cone. Long and light brakes. Good. On the throttle here. Left lane, fourth gear, all the way down the straightaway. Good. Give me firm brakes at the 4. Downshifting third gear. Gotta turn in at the blue turning cone. Let's get on the curve here at the apex. Good, that's better. Nice job. Open up. Good. Upshift, fourth gear. Lift. Settle. Squeeze back on. Tight to the right. Unwinding out. Left to center. Keep angle on the wheel. close to the near apex, straight towards the 1. Follow me down, get to that inside lane. Last time was pretty good, let's keep it up. On the curve, quickly off. Good, straight down towards the brake zone. So try not to hold to the right there. Once you clip the apex, that's when we gotta unwind and head down towards that brake zone. So don't try not to turn past the apex there, Jerry. Light and long brakes here, sir, just balancing in. Tight to the right, on the curb at the apex. Light and long brakes, down, shifting second gear, outside seam. Light brakes back towards the left. Good, unwind, accelerate, straight towards the blue turning cone. Long and light brakes, easing off. All right, Jerry, let's bring down our speed. We're gonna do our first rotation, sir. Go ahead and pull over to the right for me. You're gonna fall in line behind me. Santiago, you're going to be pulling in line behind me, and then Jerry, you'll bring up the rear. So it looks like we're turning in a little bit early back there on turn 10 there, Santiago, so we'll work on that as we head back out. Let's start to pick up the pace. Jerry, you're good to fall in line, sir. Let's pick it back up here, Santiago. Me and you, sir. You're going to place your tires where I place mine. So just long and light brakes here at the floorboard. We'll downshift to third gear. Go from the blue turning cone. Tight to the apex on the inside. Quickly on the curb. Quickly off. Good. Unwind, accelerate. Upshift, fourth gear. Lift, settle, squeeze back on. Tight to the right. Unwinding out here left of center. Stay on it. Let's get back towards the near apex and then eyes up straight towards the 1. Firm brake at the 4. We'll downshift third gear from the blue turning cone. We gotta scan to the right. Find that orange apex. Steer down on the curve, right at the apex. Good. Now open up straight towards the brake cone here. Light, long brakes, middle. Don't want to go much higher. Then steer down on the curb. Unwind, accelerate out. Once again, coming into the S's. Light and long brakes. At the blue turning cone, back tight to the right. So turn in just a little bit late there from that blue turning cone. It does come up quick, so try to anticipate it. Downshift, second gear, outside seam. Wait to turn in, now get down there on the curb. Good, throttle up, then light brakes back towards the left. On the curb, unwind out. Light and long brakes. Fourth gear, left lane. Firm brakes at the 4, sir. Downshifting third gear. Notice my brake light. Keep balance in with the brakes. Then off. On the curb quickly. Just a little bit late there. All good. Again, just kind of anticipate that blue turning cone. We're coming in there at a good amount of speed at the end of the straightaway for turn 1. Stay on it. Fourth gear, straight towards the 1. Firm brake at the 4. Downshifting here. Third gear, follow me down. Inside lane early. Quickly on the curb, quickly off. Good, now open up, head straight down towards the brake cone here. It's a little bit wide there, Jerry. Try to make sure you're staying off the throttle mid-corner. On the curb here. Good, unwind, accelerate out. Getting closer to that apex there, Santiago. Light and long brakes. Back towards the left and tight to the right. Got to get tighter on that right-hand turn. Just try to anticipate that blue turning cone. Again, that one's going to come up quick. Downshift, second gear, outside seam. Remember, hold wide, then look through the apex, find the blue. Once you're pointed, that's when we'll throttle up. Light brakes back towards the left. Okay, unwind, accelerate, straight towards the brake cone. We're upshifting third gear. Long and light brakes, solid to the curb on the inside here, Santiago. Good, left lane here, staying on it. Upshifting fourth gear. All the way to the 4th. at the 4. Give me some good firm brake pressure. Downshifting, easing off. Follow me down. On the curve quickly, quickly off. Good, that's better. Nice job. 4th gear, upshift. Lift. Settle. Squeeze. Back on. Tight to the right. Unwinding out here, left of center. Stay on it. Trust yourself through there. We're losing a good amount of time coming off the throttle. So allow that car to unwind out. Left of center. We'll keep that angle on the wheel. That'll get you back to the right. On the curve here. Then open up. Good. Straight down towards the brake cone. Long and light brakes, middle lane. Good. Now steer down. On the curve. A little tighter, a little tighter. There you go. Unwind, accelerate out. Long and light brakes. Back towards the left here. And tight to the right at the blue turning cone. Good. That's better. Nice job. Jerry, just give Santiago a little bit more space there, sir. Downshift, 2nd gear, outside seam. On the curb. Throttle up. Light brakes balancing back towards the left. Good, straight towards the blue turning cone. 3rd gear upshift, long and light brakes. Alright, nice job, Santiago. We're going to do our next rotation here, sir. We'll go ahead and bring down our speed. You're going to pull over towards the right. Jerry, you're behind me. And Santiago, you're good to fall back in line. Let's keep moving. So we're 4th gear here, Jerry. We'll go long and light brakes at the 4. We'll downshift 3rd gear. Again, anticipate that blue turning cone. Get tight to the apex on the inside. Quickly on the curve, quickly off. Unwind, accelerate out just a little bit late there. Again, try to anticipate. Upshifting 4th gear. Settle, squeeze, back on. Unwinding out. Back towards the near apex, straight towards the 1. Firm brakes at the 4. Downshifting 3rd gear. Follow me down to the inside early here, Jerry. Get a little tighter, a little tighter. Stay off the throttle. There you go. Now straight towards the brake cone. Notice how you hold to the right there? You're just holding that steering angle a little bit long. So try to open up that wheel. Remember, once we clip the apex, that's when we unwind and accelerate. Light and long brakes. Back towards the left here. It's balancing in at the blue turning cone. We're tight to the right. Good. Light and long brakes here. Outside seam. Back towards the left, just balancing in. Again, unwind, accelerate, straight towards the blue turning cone. Light brakes about the 1.5 board. Easing off, all over the curb on the inside. Keep it up back there, Santiago. All the way to the 4, Jerry, then firm brakes at the 4. Downshifting 3rd gear. Follow me down. Got to get turned in a little bit sooner. Get down there. There you go. Unwind out. Nice. 4th gear. Lift. Settle. Squeeze back on. Tight to the right, Jerry. Back on the brakes. Downshifting. Braking here, middle, then steer down. Good, you did a good job opening up sooner there. We're just going a little high in the bowl. So remember those 2 seams that we talked about in the asphalt. Try to place your car right in between those 2 seams, middle lane there in the bowl. Just a little bit late there on the blue turning cone. Light and long brakes, 2nd gear, outside seam. Patience, again, we'll steer down on the curve quickly. Throttle up. Light brakes back towards the left. Straight towards that blue turning cone. 3rd gear. Long and light brakes one more time. Alright, Jerry. Awesome job, sir. We're going to do our final rotation here. So let's go ahead and bring down your speed. We're both going to pull over to the right. And then Santiago, you're going to fall in line, so go ahead and stay out towards the left there, Santiago. I'm going to pull out in front of you, and then Jerry's going to bring up the rear. All right, gentlemen, let's keep it moving here. Back in line, Jerry. Good. Fourth gear, Santiago. Light and long brakes. We'll downshift to third gear. Then follow me down. On the curve, quickly off. Right at the orange apex. Good. Unwind, accelerate out. Good. Upshift, fourth gear. Let's get a little bit more speed here. Once we get the car settled in the dip, squeeze back on. Keep building. Allow it to unwind out. Good. Now back towards. There you go. Much better speed through there. Firm brakes up to 4. Downshifting, third gear. Follow me down. On the curve, quickly off. Good. Open up straight towards the brake cone. Light brakes again, middle lane. Steer down. Unwind, accelerate out. Nice job, Santiago. You're carrying pretty good speed through there. Light long brakes. Third. Anticipate that blue turning cone. Get back to the right. Get back to the right. There you go. Better. Unwind. Accelerate. Light brakes. Downshift. Second gear. Outside seam. Again, look through the apex. Find that blue turning cone. That's going to help you out. Just turn in a little bit early there. Got to get rotation out a little bit further. Again, that's going to get you pointed so that you can actually get on the throttle a lot more there coming up into turn 9. All over the curve on the inside. Unwind, accelerate. Firm brakes, sir. Downshift, third gear, follow me down. Right. On the curve, quickly off. Settle. Squeeze back on. Tight to the right. Stay on it. Trust yourself here. Fall back a good amount through here. So, trust yourself. Again, allow the car to unwind. Notice how you're holding that right side. Oh, way too long there. Open up the radius. If it's tighter, we can't go as fast. You are cutting the track, but can't go as fast when it's tighter, so try to open up that radius. Light brakes here. Again, middle lane. You've been looking pretty good here. Open up. Good. Light and long brakes at the end of the curve here. Just balancing in. We're out towards the left. That's the blue turning cone. Tight to the right. Downshift, second gear, outside seam. Again, try to get your rotation right here where I'm at. Steer down. Much better. Light brakes back towards the left. Unwind, accelerate straight towards the blue turning cone. Light brakes, easing off. All right, gentlemen, awesome job. Let's go ahead and start our cool down here. We're going to really work on the driving line here. To stay in line, we're going to go fourth gear. So we're looking good, obviously, coming down the straightaway here. We're just a little late a few times here at the blue turning cone. So again, notice that blue turning cone, but then look to the right, find the apex. You got to use your peripheral vision to know where that blue turning cone is, and then to turn in. But we want to scan and move our eyes towards that orange apex. That way we know how much to steer down. You're looking pretty good through here, but then somewhere from here up to 3, we kind of fall off, Santiago. So on the curb here, watch this. Unwind out. Good. We'll keep some angle on the wheel. That's going to get you right back towards the near apex and then straight towards the 1. Notice how it's more of a straight shot this way. We're able to carry a lot more speed. From the blue turning cone, we got to get down tight. Everyone seems to make some pretty good adjustments here. Once you clip that apex, look for that red brake color. Open up, head straight towards it. So, Jerry, you're still holding out to the right there. So, again, just try to make sure you're scanning, looking where you want to go. If you're caught looking around the turn, your hands are going to go around the turn. All right? So, open up your vision and look for that red brake color. Light brakes here. Again, everyone's looking not too bad here. We just got to anticipate this blue turning cone, okay? Once you're out towards it, just get back to the right. On the curve quickly, quickly off. Outside seam here, gentlemen. We'll go from the blue turning cone outside. Again, you're going to get most of your rotation here at the last moment, pointed, and then you can throttle through. Light brakes back towards the left on the curb at the apex. Then from the outside, or exit curbing straight towards the blue turning cone. Turn 10. All over the curb on the inside, and unwind, accelerate out. Not too bad, just got to try not to turn in so late there. Again, that's another one we've got to anticipate that blue turning cone. As we pick up the pace, gentlemen, we've got to kind of anticipate those blue turning cones, otherwise we're going to be late on turning in if we wait for the last second. Now just follow me down here. Just let the car roll or coast through. On the curve quickly, quickly off. Good, now open up, out towards the left. There you go. Lift, again let the car settle, squeeze back on. A little bit of the curb on the right, then open up, out towards the left, and left to center. Unwind the wheel. There you go. Now back towards the near apex. Eyes up straight towards the one. There you go. That's a much better line through there. Awesome job. Good, so we're turning in a little bit late there. We got to go from the blue turning cone straight towards the inside. Remember, Jerry, once you clip the apex, open up that wheel or unwind. There you go. Much better. Middle lane here, gentlemen, right between the seams. We'll kind of dip our right side tire over that seam and then steer down. Anticipate that blue turning cone. Back to the right. Alright, gentlemen, activate our left turn signals. We'll be exiting the track. Go ahead and stay with me, gentlemen. We're going to go to the left here. Just a reminder, leave your PDRs recording. Once we get to a stop, I'm going to come back and grab your lap times. It does look clear, so go ahead and follow me across. Once we get to a stop, gentlemen, just go ahead and throw your vehicle in park. I'll be right back to grab your lap times.
Felt good. Yeah, I know I did better than I did yesterday. Better on the apexes. Yeah. Probably only take a couple hundred more laps to really get it.
That's going to cost you a lot more money.
Yeah, no kidding. So at least I got to drive the same color as what I bought, red one, so it all works.
I
Okay.
That went to wide. Sometimes you gotta make those negotiations.
Yeah, understand. There was no doubt ever that I was going to buy a red Corvette because that's all I've ever owned is red Corvettes.
Terry, better out there, sir.
Yeah, I finally, on that last turn, I finally did it right.
Yeah.
Over there going into the bowl there.
Into the bowl, yeah.
I finally did it right.
Hold it a little bit
Yeah,
long,
I know.
and then- so once you get on that curve by the apex,
Yeah.
you gotta look, you gotta find the right
Well, I'm trying so hard when I followed you in tight to try and stay right on you and stay in there tight, and then I don't turn back.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I got
you
it
gotta
now.
Hold that angle a little
I
bit
got it
long,
now.
but
I got it now.
The last one when we did those cool down laps, you looked good. That looked like the best one.
Thank you. Felt
Yeah,
good.
Solid job, buddy. You can go ahead and stop recording, and then you can shut it down, and then we're gonna reach over and grab your SD card,